God damn it. I forgot. Let me go and do this first. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy.
She just got brushing teeth. She didn't even want to bath them.
She just brush your teeth and change your pajamas. Gina, brush your teeth and change your pajamas.
All right, family. I'm having some technical difficulties. But you know we're going to work through it as we usually do about this time. Text should be coming out in a moment. Let me know if you get it. Uber conference. Hopefully we'll be able to get it up. Don't know what's going on. But we're going to see what we could do. Trying to make these miracles happen on a shoestring budget. Actually, no budget at all. The price of everything is going up. Right,
you are the first participant on the call. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Let's see. Let's get this going right now. First off, I want to thank you for joining us on Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simple production, and we are on FFGF. And the name of the show tonight is The Jackdaw and the Fox. It's a Heart of a Simple production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Let's get it. Got some time to start piling in.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenyame.journey.com.
Come on in, family. Join us.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands.
Two people in the room. Let me know who you are. Get this started. Need to keep my water up. We on day 2. Uh-oh. That's this one out. Good news.
And Jesse and separate persons of the wicked. I say, in the four and the fathers, who justice to assisted in the meeting, delivered the four meeting, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, your God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Rise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kabara Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Abin Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Abin Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
With Marina, with the Gye-Nyame Warrior Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad who raised me and my brothers to be around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
And you're listening to Gye-Nyame Warrior Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good, I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe. Gye-Nyame family, stand up. Peace.
Who in the room? Who in the room? Let's get this started because we already late. And we only got a little bit of while though.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gye-Nyame tribe. Gye-Nyame family, stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
What's up?
Peace.
What's up, Namaste? Hey, we need to hook up because I need to get you instructions and I need to send you a scope. Mr. Namaste Jones is interested in coming. I don't know whether you're going to be a brewer or a foreman, my brother, but either one, I want to welcome you to the family. I'm going to send you out one of these Phoenix wings.
Peace.
My fault, Phoenix feathers. Cold. That's cold talk. Huh? Damn. Why do I do it to myself? I ask over and over again. This media is gonna kill me because I say I'm gonna do some shit, then I got to be responsible to everybody that I say I'm gonna do. I say I'm gonna do a 21-day fast. 21 days. Once again, after the last one, I said I'll never do it again, but it came that time, summertime, feeling good, feeling cocky. I wanted to jump, and I jumped. So I now threw it out in the universe. So we going for the 21 days. Now, for those that don't know, this is part of the Nguzo Saba challenge. Now, when you take the challenge, you don't just have to fast. You could add the workout in. The reason we did the 21-day piece was because it takes 21 days to establish a habit. So whether it's working out, whether it's fasting, whatever, you could set it up for you. Because in the packet that you receive, when you sign up for the challenge, you get a PDF of this. Now I'm going to turn this into a book, right? Give you examples where every day you deal with a folk tale. I'm going to change one of these. Every day you deal with a folk tale for a week. You deal with a proverb for the week. But then you also get to plan your next day and review the day that you were on, and then to see if you kept whatever goal you have for the 21-day challenge. The 21-day challenge is a trick to get you to start looking at journaling, because you know what I found? Right when I started this, I found my chart from last year. I found my paper from last year when I was on the journey, and Lord have mercy, I was suffering. So I'm ready for suffering. That's not ambrosia. That's straight green tea. I don't know if you want some. You want to try it? It's straight raw, no honey, no sugar, no nothing. So for the first 7 days, I'm doing water and tea and other juices. I could do fruit juices. I could do like miso soup for those that want to fast and you want to get into it. You could do, you know what I'm saying, I added the miso soup because I like the whole fermented food piece, right? The next 7 days is going to be water only. Water only. Of course, I could do ambrosia through these. And on the water only, I can't do the ambrosia. And then day 10, 11, and 12, I'm going to go 3 days without water, without food, without anything, right? Just sustaining myself. Then day 13 and 14 is water only. Day 15 is back to water, juice, tea, miso soup, ambrosia. We back on it. We getting into it. We building up. So what I'm trying to do, I do my stuff so that I can show you what's possible for you, right? Because like I said, cultural stabilizers. Last year about this same time, I did this. And I'm able to think a little bit clearer. I'm able to focus in on these proverbs, on these folk tales. I'm able to focus in on the proverbs of the week. I'm able to focus in on these folk tales and do my role as a nation builder. Fulfill my part in the interdependence of my tribe. I become a little bit more focused. Now this year's the planning was kind of off because I'm gonna end up fasting at our camp that's going to be coming up. I will be announcing the days. I'll be sending it out to everybody so that anybody that want to join Gye-Nyame Journey, Tawi Village, anybody that want to join us out here at the camping trip, I will have the prices and everything. Only thing you will need to bring is your sleeping bag. We will be providing the food. We will have the tents, and your fee will cover everything. Now you're going to have to share a tent. Now I'm not giving individual tents, right? Now, if you bring a tent, I'm quite sure we got some type of discount. We're working on it. The team is working on it. Another thing that's going to be coming out that we're going to start planning for is also for all those that are interested in learning more about Gye-Nyame Journey, we're going to have a monthly, you're going to kick it over, Gina. We're working on developing a newsletter. Now, what came out in the conversation about the newsletter today, thanks to Sister CeeLo. Sister CeeLo said there's enough information going out. We're being inundated with information, but now we need some how-to. We want to get into the how-tos of nation building, of tribe building. How do you build up your tribe? How do you change your diet? How do you fast? You know what I'm saying? How much water and why water? You know what I'm saying? What are the 5 parts of the being? What are the 4 pillars of being healthy for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? How and why? We want to get into not just breaking down and telling you what's what. We want to start giving you steps, 5 to 10 steps in every article that we post. Either because you're going to have access to information we got from the internet, as well as 5 steps that's put together by our tribe to help you move to the next level of your life. So we're going to be dealing with financial literacy. We're going to be dealing with politics. We're going to be dealing with economics, period. We're going to be dealing with the principles. We're going to be dealing with cultural stabilizers. We're going to be dealing with straight nation building. We're going to be dealing with warriorship. We're going to be dealing with physical fitness. So every month you can expect some articles to come. And of course, it's going to be, this is going to be exclusively for those that support the journey. right? So of course it'll be coming through our Gumroad site, because the whole piece is like actually the goal for me within the next 3 years, because I'm at 50 now. I got to start looking at employment. So with Gye-Nyame Journey, I not only want to be able to do camping trips, I not only want to be able to do trips, I not only want to do warrior trainings, I not only want to do retreats, now I want to be able to employ 3 people full time. 3 people full time, 2 people part time. Of course, I'll be one of the part timers, right? Y'all like, well, brother, how you gonna start a business and do the part time? Well, I have a job that I love, you know what I'm saying, and I want to be able to do something for the community and keep it going and keep the relationship that I'm building, because I get an opportunity to work with the future politicians. I get an opportunity to work with the future economists. I get to work with the future physicists, the future programmers, you know what I'm saying, the future nation builders, which is including all those things, the future farmers, you know what I'm saying. I'm in a position where I'm able to influence the next generation of leadership and workers, more importantly, workers for our people. So I'm focusing on that. So I want to maintain that relationship, but also I want to be able to give, we need full time. You can't nation build part time. So you need at least in every tribe that's coming up in the tradition that we're building, every tribe, we all need to start striving to have somebody to do this work 24. This is their thing. This is what they do. And they get paid for through the community, through the tribe. Not, you know, not necessarily the community at large, because everybody ain't gonna go into it. But there's enough of us where we can start finding ways to start businesses to employ. For example, today my nephew and my son was working in a garden. And we at our school, we have access to growing towers. One of the businesses that's going to spring up from this is that we are going to be able to provide people within our tribe and our community with fresh greens every week. I'm talking collards, I'm talking kale, I'm talking nutrient-dense food that is produced by our children. And another goal that we have is to have our young people be able to provide the salad for the Kwanzaa celebration for all 7 days. Now, brilliant. Then we got the newsletter, right? Then we got the trips. Because there's no reason, I mean, we got tents. We got enough tents. Right now, we got enough tents for about between 50 people. We repair the ones we got. We got enough for about 80 people. We add on to that, and we keep on adding to it. There's no reason why we can't have a camp. A family, a village, actually build up a village and do our ceremonies, do our rituals, do our networking, do our future planning, you know what I'm saying, for the next event, and all these warm seasons, because family, the reality is that in America, many of us have been priced out. So a lot of us can't take vacations. At one point in time, every year I could go to Africa. But the economy hit. Let me tell you how the economy hit me today. I'm looking at my budget. And my budget, I have to adjust my budget according to the prices. So I buy the gas for the house, right? So I'm putting a certain amount away for gas. But within the last month, gas went up about 60 cents. So now, what does that do for my budget? That throws my budget off. The electric bill is a little bit higher. What does that do for my budget? See, family, we are just making it, right? We're just making it. We're just getting through. And we have to start coming up with creative ways to add to the economy within our tribe. We got to start trading with each other. We have to become politically active. We have to start raising young people that are politically active, because there is a claim that we have on this country that is indisputable. We have indisputable proof. I pulled something down off of Google. Google did a document where they talk about lynching, and how lynching was used to keep people in place and how it was supported by the government, redlining, how it was supported by the government, Jim Crow, how it was supported, you know what I'm saying, and enforced by the government, slavery, how it was enforced by the government. There is a claim that we have as a people that I'm constantly going to be talking about, because there are reparations due. They owe our grandparents. They owe our great-grandparents. And right now in America, the most important thing is, because y'all got to understand, family, we're going up against generational money. Many of us are in the first generation trying to build because our ancestors couldn't build. It wasn't that they was lazy. It was the fact that the policies of the government were set to hinder their progress. When we talk about trying to politically, we did it. When we try economically, we did it. So we done try everything, and the government, in every way possible, has always sided against us. And as citizens, we have a claim, and we got to work on that claim. I ain't saying stop your hustle. What I'm saying is include in your hustle, because family, what you got to understand, politics for a community without economics is basically whoredom. And economics without politics is basically looting. Because if you don't have the politics and the policies established to not only protect your wealth, but to help your wealth circulate through the community that develops that wealth. Because you got to understand, the reason that the wealth is calcifying in America, for those who don't understand, look that up, because this is the highest calcification of wealth in the history of the world, where the money stays at the top. They have enacted policies that work for them. And what I'm saying to you is, we now need to battle those policies, challenge those policies, and change those policies so that now they work for us. We need to challenge the economic system that they got. We need to challenge the hustle system that they got, and we need to change it and get it to start working for us, because we're old. All right, somebody just called in. I didn't even get to the story yet. I'm sorry. Y'all know once I start running my mouth, I can't help myself. I can't help it. Uh-oh, it's Lady J. Uh-oh, here we go. What's going on, Lady J? This is her show, by the way. Y'all know that, right? Lady J, can you hear me? Lady J. Hello? Let me check my mic, make sure my stuff is working. Check 1, check 2. My mic is working. Test sound is working. All right, I'm working, Lady J. Oh, she hung up. Maybe she mad at me. I don't know. You never know nowadays. All right, so what I'm drinking right now is green tea because I'm out of that ambrosia. I'll be brewing the ambrosia, and I'll probably have it by the 3rd week. Have it available. There, she's back. Lady J is back. Can you hear me? Lady J.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm awesome. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I had to let everybody know this is actually your show. So what's going on with you before we get into the story?
So many things. I don't even think I want to comment right now because you know how that goes.
Well, I mean, hey, it goes how it goes. Everybody expect it now. So, hey, I mean, it's part of the show. Just keep it as short as possible and concise. But if you don't want to comment, I'll keep on going because you know how I am.
All right. So I guess I was feeling some type of way about the NFL decision. Yes. So I just want to be clear. I warn you guys that I am overly optimistic, and I often look at my glasses half full versus half empty, and a lot of times this provides me with opportunity to see things a little differently, right?
Go ahead.
And so when I look at the Constitution, when I look at the Bill of Rights, I don't see those Bill of Rights as being for one people, right? It's for Americans, and unlike Chinese and Japanese and even Africans, for the most part, and you know, for the most part, we know what those people look like when we say Chinese, right?
Right.
When we say Japanese, Asian, a picture comes to mind. The unique thing about America is that nothing should come to mind as far as race, because race has nothing to do with our nationality, right? And American is being a nationality, and like I said, being somewhat different from China and Japan and some other places. So anyways, they write this Constitution, they put these Bill of Rights in there because they figured out the previous Constitutions, previous laws of the land did not work, they were ineffective. So they put these new laws in effect. They write this Bill of Rights, and I truly believe, I believe this with all my heart, that these are my rights as well. I have 3 inalienable rights, but then I also have these rights that were given to me as a U.S. citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the first right, the First Amendment to the Constitution being the right to protest. I cannot understand how, someone needs to help me understand how the Football League can violate one's First Amendment right.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. Now, first off, the NFL is an institution. It's not necessarily a member of the United States, although it do pay taxes. And because of the loosening of certain rights and the loosening of bargaining, like for example, in the Supreme Court just threw.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm just going to be, so these NFL teams represent states.
No. No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, are they not named after a state or a city or something?
They're named, purely named after a city. The city invests, and possibly, but see, because if it was representative of a state, then it would be a state or a city institution. It's not a city institution. They take the name of the city out of which they come, but they are a corporation. And in a sense, they are able to make their own laws because America plays favor when it comes to corporations. Corporations, you are an employee. As an employee, you have certain rights. And I believe that you need to stand up for the goddamn Pledge of Allegiance. And I want all my employees to do it. It's sort of like you going to a job and having a dress code. You're a full-grown person. Why they got to tell you how to dress? Why should they be able to tell you how to dress?
That's not a constitutional. That's not outlined as far as your constitutional right.
Well, hold on. Let's say I want to protest on my job, and I don't want to wear a tie. I still look nice, but I take the tie off, and I don't want to wear the tie. You said that the first right that I had was right of protest. Protest means that I don't have to be like everybody else. I don't have to agree with everybody else, and I can rub against the grain and still have my rights.
Different.
How's that different than somebody not studying? How's that different? It's not different. It's the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
if I want to take a knee,
now I get it, and now I do get it. Now I get it, but I do want to say that as Americans, if you call yourself an American, if you believe in any of, this, and I do, I believe in this idea of pulling yourself up from your bootstraps. I believe that is this pursuit of happiness is like this American dream. You know what I'm saying? You get an opportunity to work towards whatever it is that your heart's desire. Like you are the only person who does that. I believe that is.
You open up a can of worms, girl. I'm about to, you sure you want to go here with me?
Yeah, I want, like I said, and so I apologize in advance because again,
Don't apologize.
This is my outlook. This is my perspective.
I hate when you apologize. Do you? Don't apologize. Do you? Right? Do you? Padawan, do you? Young Jedi, do you? I'm not like, pull out your saber. If you're gonna say that shit, stand on it. Let's get it. This your show.
The reason why I'm apologizing is because
you know I
see that this is going to lead us down a slippery slope.
All right.
But it is true. It's how I feel.
All right, and listen, and that's cool because that's how, now, my opinion, that's how we was indoctrinated. The whole American dream, you know what I'm saying, is actually a hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's a hustle.
Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah. I know it's a hustle. I mean,
okay, let's think about this.
You know, John Henrik Clarke says, listen to me, John Henrik Clarke says, history is the best judge of what's going to come. You know what I'm saying? History is the best judge of he said in some form, I'm messing it up, but history is the most qualified of disciplines to predict the future. Right? I can show you historically how the American dream or pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps was some shit that was not constructed.
So give me one. Give me one. Give me one.
Redlining. You want another one?
Go ahead.
No, you said one. I gave you one, but you want another one?
Go ahead.
Jim Crow. Okay. Your people not having the right to vote to 1968.
All right.
What? That's not enough? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Go ahead and stop right there. Stop right there because now I want to tell you that's the glass half empty.
Oh, God.
That's your glass half empty approach.
Okay.
Let me finish. Let me finish, please.
You was finished. I gave you the points. Now you want to add some shit onto it, but go ahead.
That is the glass half empty.
It is?
And so I'm going to give it to you the glass half full.
Give it to me half full.
Even with all of those things, my ancestors persevered. My ancestors, they after being in bondage, even during being in bondage, they got their education. They contributed to every facet of this country. They planned and helped engineer your state capital. They made many contributions, inventions, innovations.
Nothing I said.
Their ingenuity, and this is prior, during, and immediately following slavery. I think about when slavery ended, what did they do? Yes, they had Jim Crow. You had Reconstruction, but something that also happened that we gave this United States in places abroad was that Harlem Renaissance, that growth of that black thought, that growth of that black art that resonated everywhere.
Lady J,
yes.
Slow your roll. Listen to me. Now you said, you looked at my opinion and you said it was the glass half empty. All I'm saying is, I told you, hold on, cool. Give me a glass half empty or half full view of Jim Crow. See, because like I said, because what you are describing is what we did. Wait, hold on.
What did the people do?
What did the people do?
When they didn't want to, when those Jim Crow laws threatened them, their freedom, their rights, their life, their liberty, what did they do?
They did what they could do.
They got up and a lot of them got up and you had the Great Migration. They didn't stay there.
And they moved up north. They moved up north, and when you read some of that stuff, you find that up north it was a lot. It was in many cases similar or worse than it was in the South, Lady J.
Yeah,
now,
in some places they worked. You know what? In other places, you know what they managed to do?
What they
managed to build a black. Or do we call them what do they call them? Metropolis. Black. What is that word that I'm looking for?
Metropolis.
Where you have these. Yeah, whatever it's called.
All right, cool.
Chicago and Cleveland and Detroit and New York, all over.
Your research.
black doctors, you have black teachers, you have people living amongst themselves segregated, doing great things for their people.
Now, what happened?
Immediately
hold on.
following Reconstruction.
Oh, cool. Now, hold on. Now, this is the piece. What I said takes nothing away from us or our achievements. One of the rules, one of the virtues of my eye, is being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. It's being able to look at reality in the face and face it. Lady J, you're right. We achieved. And there there is positives to everything. But if you just overshadow it with the positives and not really look at the roadblocks that was unjustifiably put before your ancestors. Wait, hold on, let me finish. Okay. One of the reasons that our people are in the position that they are in now is because the laws that were put in place by the government that we serve, we love, we pay taxes to, made sure that we were not able to compete for generations. Now, we did shit. We did shit in our own communities. Yes, indeed. But another piece that you got to look at, because nothing we're talking about is new. We done tried to change the social structure. We raised our kids right. We went to school. We built our own businesses. We did the political thing. But at every turn, the policies that were passed, the laws that were passed, the hand of the government guided by people who may have been misguided were pressed against us and forced us out.
Okay, so let's talk about this, because I know you want to get to your story as well. So I just want to say this: the Negro speaks rivers. The Negro speaks rivers. This predicament that we are in is not the first time. We face opposition. We faced it numerous times throughout our history, present and ancient. We faced it, and each and every time that Negro persevered. So what you have is the resilience that's in us, and that at this point, what I say about those roadblocks is that we cannot control some things. We can't control other things we can. Those things we can't control, but the things that we can control is bringing up and cultivating people to go into those institutions where we are underrepresented, like politics.
Hey.
The reason why they're able to pass laws, the reasons why they're able to pass policies and do things to us that are not in our favor is because we discourage, we don't encourage, we don't promote, we don't see value in going into positions like that.
Now, if you was 5 minutes, if you was 5 minutes early to the show, the speech you about to give, I just gave. Except I added the fact that there is a debt that is owed that we have to train our children how to get economically and politically. It's called reparations, because there needs to be a repair. And there needs to be damages paid for the fact that we had all these hurdles that was placed specifically for us.
You know what? And if I were them, I would place hurdles too. I'm just going to say, if I see that genetically I am inferior, that I am outnumbered, all of these, I would have played the mind game too. Take
that out the conversation, because in front of white folks, you'll never say that shit. What you have to, you would never say that. Because you wouldn't be working nowhere. Listen to me. If you were speaking like that, wait a minute. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is, take that whole shit out the argument. You would set it up because you love your children. You would set up a system where your children could benefit. You would make laws for your children if you was in that position. It ain't about looking around. It ain't about looking around and being like, it's other people superior to us, so we need to make sure. No, these motherfuckers set laws that stop their own people from moving forward. So it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily.
You know what? When we say these people, we got to make sure. And this is why I would say this in front of my coworkers, because I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the 3% that own and distribute all the wealth. I'm talking about that generational. This goes back. This goes back way prior.
Now,
this goes back long before their existence. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the thought and the philosophy.
Hold on.
And yeah, I'm talking about.
But your co-workers may be part of that because listen, you got what's called the point.
But they're socialized. Of course, they are a part of it. They're socialized to be a part of it.
Hold on, you got
socialized to be.
You got the 0.1%, and then you got the 9.9%. Right? They are the gatekeepers. They are the workers of the system. They keep all this shit going, and they get to hide behind the fact, well, I'm just doing my job. You know what I'm saying? And they have locked in the wealth into their families. See, because many of us, we're talking about like when you go to the point saying, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
All the white people I work with are like, yeah. They're not those people.
I disagree.
They need their job just as bad as I need my job.
I disagree. I agree. Because the numbers show us something. The numbers show us something totally different. You might be working with somebody who likes to work that might not want to pull on some wealth that they may have received. You have no inheritance. You're dealing and competing with people who have inheritance. They just don't tell you.
So we're going to assume we're not.
No, I don't have to assume. No, time out. See, this is where me and you disagree because you want to look at the glass half full, right? I'm telling you right now, for black folks, for black folks, the glass is half. Go ahead, because I'm gonna break your ass with some numbers because I won't bring me numbers because I bring numbers. Let's go.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. In every civilization, every study, we come up with these social hierarchies, right? This triangle, which tells us how the people are distributed, right? They tell us how the people are distributed. Usually you have like your kings on top, and you're going to have your slaves at the bottom, your merchants, your artisans, right? Mm-hmm. And your nobles. And your priests, right. Your religious, you're going to have all of them in between, right?
Calcification of wealth, that's what that's called. Right.
Huh?
That's called calcification of wealth. You lock in the wealth so you can pass from generation to generation, and those at the bottom have no wealth to pass on. And what we do is we change, what capitalism has done, capitalism has changed the paradigm from down. We locking the wealth up here, so you'll never be able to get it. So what they do, they change the language, and now it's your fault because you're not hustling hard enough.
Yep. So watch this. In the United States, at some point we may have had the upper class, you have a middle class, and you have a lower class, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have poor, right? Or something like that. So now you got this whole nother class of people that my understanding is they make up the majority. They make up the majority, and these people are called working class people, right? These are people who work, they have middle class values, they have middle...
Shaka, you still there too?
Yeah.
Lady J, what's going on with your mic? Lady J. All right. Now, this is why I say we could bring numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because the point is, when you look at the median, I ain't even going to go into that. Y'all can do the research yourself. See what the average black family is worth. See what the average white family is worth. And you'll see and understand what Brother Hatim is talking about. Many of us are living in an illusion. We don't want to face reality. We are the cast of people that have been used to fuel this system. And because we have been used to fuel this system, we have never been able to build up for ourselves. And this is the only piece I need people to understand. When you come at me, please come at me. And I mean, like I said, shut me up with numbers. Have any of you guys heard about Jay Morrison's Tulsa Real Estate Fund? I think it might be worthy of consideration. Now, because I don't think I'm going to Tulsa, I will look into that. But Because in every city, I think that we have an opportunity where there is a large number of black people for us to get politically and economically active so that we can start making things happen. Because regardless of where we are, we can look at the map and we can see where a majority of us are focused right now, right? And it's almost like a straight line. You know what I'm saying? You got the South moving up to the Midwest, where a majority of us are. So we need to start working and concentrating those numbers. And like I said, all politics are local. We get caught up in the national piece. We're not seeing what's being passed on the local level, and we can start taking over some of these things, some of these seats at a local level to start making shit happen, right? And start directing policies that benefit us. And I know, and what we have people that getting off and be like, oh, I'm the mayor of the people. No, motherfucker, you the mayor of us. You know what I'm saying? The other people gonna have to fit in like we had to fit in for a long time. The headquarters is in Atlanta. It's just named. Oh, okay, cool. I haven't heard about it. This must be either who is this on Gye-Nyame Journey right now? Who piloted the ship right now? Brother Shaka, before I read this,
I bet you that's the new.
Well, I don't know because that could be Sister Jackie too.
Okay.
So shut my mouth. That's Anubis. Go ahead. Now we might need to look into that. You know what I'm saying? And duplicate. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Brother Shaka, you got something you want to share before we get into the story? Damn, Lady J, man. Me and Lady J, man. Oh, man. I love when she come on the show because she be calling the nigga the task. Got me sweating.
Well, you know, I heard a bit of y'all, dialogue. And the thing is that on some monkey in the middle stuff, I feel like a lot of times we emphasize from a very self-centered place, and we forget about I forget. You know what? Let me just say it like this. When I look at a lot of what I've dealt with in terms of my relationship with my parents, and I look at what I regard in terms of my children's relationship with me, I think a lot of times I make concessions for my children because those were not made for myself. And I feel like that is the behavior that we have to go out and encourage in the community, is that, we almost have to be models or maintain or establish a standard that has not been maintained in our history, but understanding that our history has been dysfunctional because of it, and it's up to us to be able to, to maintain that role. And if we don't have anyone to model that role or position for us, I really think at that point it's a matter of being self-checked. It's the same way as we cannot, a saying that I cannot learn from my enemy because they have it. And that's what allows them to maintain power, is because with every inch that you push them, they got some fallback. They got some give because they got support. They can fail. You can tear up my car. You can tear up my car if you want to. It's insured.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the piece is that, we are very frail and not having that infrastructure. And it's like sometimes we get excited. Like when I hear about, us being able to deregulate utilities, I'm like, yeah, finally, if I'm going to pay this much for gas, I'd rather pay one of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily work like that. Is this something that everybody's going to jump into and maintain this collective economics? Has it? I mean, I've heard about the deregulation contracts over a decade ago. Is it working for anybody that you know?
No. And see, now, this is what I'm going to say. I would say that if you look at our history, it's less dysfunctional than we actually, this goes to the half empty, half full piece, because maybe this is where I'm illusion. I'm illusional. I need somebody to stand me out of this. But we have been working in our history. We got definite here on this side of the ocean. We have definite models where we have pulled it together. But we always have an enemy that incorporates laws, that incorporates policies that do not allow us to take advantage, that does not allow us to compete in a true fashion. That, you know what I'm saying? So
I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
Remember when the DC sniper had taken out somebody who was on their way to New York,
right,
to be able to really revolutionize and almost monopolize a certain spice used in sports medicine and all kinds of applications and that would benefit black people. Do you remember this?
Yeah, that was my time. I was part of that.
Okay.
I met that dude at least twice.
Now dig this. So when he was taken out, was the organization set up for somebody else to pick up the baton and to be able to run that play and close that deal? Because we're not just talking about, hey, I just sold the car today. No, we talking about something that could change the face of black folks. Right?
Now, there was two of them. I don't see, and this is one thing we got to remember, right? Because I might be able to carry the plan through, but I might not have the personality that moves people. There was another dude that was with him. They was partners in this. That dude that was taken out was the major salesman. This was the major guy. You understand what I'm saying? It was his personality that brought people in. So you can we have some beautiful plans, but if you don't have a connection with the people, you may not be able to execute your plan. So if they take out the one that one inspirational person, that might cause a whole thing to collapse because you don't reach the people like he did, right? Or just the fact of the trauma of him being shot randomly, supposedly randomly, and he was on something major, was something that might have kicked into a lot of people that was members of my tie. They said, shit, I'm not about to get shot. Because we got a long history of people being taken out for being successful or standing up and going against the grain. We have a long history of that. As a matter of fact, Lady J brought up the piece about the football piece. That whole rule that they instituted is for nobody else but black players, to control black players. And if they can control black players, they can demonstrate to the world. Because right now with black folks standing up, we're saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, taking a knee, boom, boom, boom. No, we're not standing for that shit. Some of us. Now they saying, boom, we're going to make the whole thing and the whole team going to be fine. Some people like, And what's crazy is we had maybe one team owner who said, I won't vote on it because the players are not here. So they decided, and they need to send a message that football is about business. It has nothing to do with your black life. Even though 70% of our league are black men. That if they weren't playing football is a good opportunity. And even while playing football, they are subject to be abused by some of the people that are out there. We gotta be clear on this shit. This is a straight slap at you. Nobody else. Is a straight slap at us, Shaka. And we got to understand, laws and rules have been put in place to mainly keep us in check. Because America needs us at the bottom. They need a population of individuals. Capitalism requires a population of individuals that are stuck where they are. so that, but making just enough money to survive and needing things. This is capitalism. And we got to be clear about that. So now, one of the things you brought up, what are some of the needs? Because when you talk about deregulation, what are some of the needs that we are allowing other people to totally dominate us with? When you talk about deregulation, you're talking about people could set up their own company, purchase electricity or purchase gas from a company and sell that to the people using the infrastructure that was set up by the government, you know what I'm saying, to find, to create jobs. But yet we won't get into it. Why? Because as soon as we start finding some success, we fear something is going to happen. Or,
but doesn't it though? Somebody always trying to like push the envelope just a little bit further, and all of a sudden
you get slapped.
Everybody,
but Shaka, you stated yourself. Some of us have to be that. We have to be that. We got to set that example, because the issue is you can't be a man and lay down at the same goddamn time. You can't talk about nation building and lay down at the same time. You can't talk about warriorship and lay down. Some of us is going to have to be that sacrifice. We have to start instilling that in ourselves, and we have to instill it into our people, man. Because the whole piece is they said it best on the spook who sat by the door. There's no way that America could police the world and keep us on our ass at the same time. There's no way they could do it without our assistance. So yeah, some of us is going to lose our jobs. Some of us is going to lose our lives. Some of us is going to lose our families. But if we stay within our principles and we do what's right, young people will start noticing. And young people will look at you and be like, I want to be like you. I'm willing to make the sacrifice. And it ain't going to be the majority. It's always a small minority that's looking at that shit and say, that's a man shit. That's some man shit.
Right.
That's some woman shit. That's some warrior shit. That's nation building. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to be able to do that. We have to be able to move the people's hearts and move the people's minds by our example. You already said that shit. So if that means that Brother Hatim got to be slapped down, nigga, I'll get slapped down. If that means I have to sit it down, I sit it down. If that means that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. But if I have to give up, if I have to lose all this, long as I stay within my principles, family, my ancestors going to look out for me. I pour for them every day, which means I have some spiritual capital out there. While a lot of y'all is worried about your pockets and doing whatever it takes to get that money, I'm doing whatever it takes to get up and toast my ancestors every day. I'm building that spiritual capital so that when that bullet do come, it might miss. As a matter of fact, my life is a testament to how a bullet can miss vital organs and run right through you like your bones ain't even there.
You know, a big shift in my energy, Jim, has been, over these past 15 years now. I think after dealing with the initial depression of being estranged from a child.
Right.
To the point where it's like, I'm going to do everything I can to win this the right way. So it only has to be won one time. To the point where it's like, man, my child is now 20 years old. The shift happens here where I give myself permission to let go. And I give myself permission to allow the ancestors to even work beyond me and knowing my heart, my best interest, and my child's best interest, and being able to work in her life as well. So when I step back out of that, it gives me a certain bit of peace to know that as long as I stay available and as long as I monument my lessons in a place and in a way that she's able to access it, even beyond my existence, that is all I can do in life.
Listen, brother, you know how long I've been waiting to hear that from you? Because the whole piece is that every child wants to seek out their parents, their father. And all you have to do is, like you said, make sure you're available, keep building your legacy, and then she's going to come. She's going to have some questions for you, right? And at that point in time, regardless of the courts or anything, you're going to be able to reveal the truth to her. And she's going to be able to feel the truth. And those years that you missed, they might be gone physically, but they're going to melt away, man. Because I'm telling you, dude, every young lady wants to seek out a father, period. And if she got one that's alive, that never told her or never just disappeared on her, right? That's been trying to get at her, she gonna come find you. You know what I'm saying? And the issue is time. Now what I'm saying is, like, because I told my son the same thing. I said, dude, just make sure you're ready when she comes. Just make sure you're ready. Because she's gonna seek you out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's get into this folk tale. Because I love Lady J's energy because she brings a whole nother perspective. She gives me something to get old and cranky about. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate her energy and I want her to know that. You know what I'm saying? I hope that she's off because her phone was dead. And not that I said something to offend her family. I want all y'all to call in because we need to have these discussions. And I need y'all to understand that my opinions are my opinions. They are not the opinions of Gye-Nyame Journey, because Gye-Nyame Journey includes Brother Shaka, right? It includes Lady J. It includes you. We can disagree. We can argue. We can even, but when it comes time for nation building, I want to know, I need to know what's in your heart. And right now, since we don't have rights outside of, because Shaka, I can't wait till one day you come down for one of the camping trips because it's hot, because Cleveland put some stuff in motion that's going to change lives. He don't even understand it yet, right? He don't even understand it yet. But he put something in motion within our circle. Cleveland did his first vision quest, and people won't understand it for the next 10 years. What that's going to do. Shouldn't we make up team be doing that before your setup? Shouldn't you make up a team to be doing that before your setup? Explain the question. Oh, you talking about giving away the show? All right, well let's get into the folktale while Anubis type in what he was completed his thought. All right, here we go. The makeup artist, Miss Gina G, is trying to make sure I'm straight. The girls are grooming me. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Them days, hey. This is a short one, but it's a powerful one. The Jackdaw and the Fox. A half-famished jackdaw seated himself on a fig tree, which had produced some fruit entirely out of season, and waited in the hope that the figs would ripen. A fox, seeing him sitting so long and learning the reason for his doing so, said to him, "You are indeed, sir, sadly deceiving yourself. You are indulging a hope strong enough to cheat you, but which will never reward you with enjoyment." Shaka, you want to take that first, or you want me to take you? Because I'm about to tear this. I hope it ain't no. I'm about to tear this motherfucker to shreds. Get out of here. It's folktales for grown folks, not folktales for toddlers. Get out of here.
I'm gonna ask if you can read it one more time.
A half-famished jackdaw seated himself on a fig tree, which had produced some fruit entirely out of season, and waited in the hope that the figs would ripen. A fox seeing him sitting so long and learning the reason of his doing so, said to him, "You are indeed, sir, sadly deceiving yourself. You are indulging a hope strong enough to cheat you, but which will never reward you with enjoyment." Sasha, what are you doing? No, baby, bring me the knife. Because it sounds like a finger is about to be sliced. But, no. Look at this. Look at this, family. Look. Give me that. Look at this. She trying to, so they freeze the ice in the water bottle. Then they want to cut the ice into small pieces. No. Here. No, that's too thick, baby. Put this up. Put it in the napkin. Gonna cut off her hand. All right. So, you got it, or you need me to read it one more time?
No, I got it. It's up to you. Do you want to jump into it? You seem kind of anxious, so I'm gonna let you.
All right, family. We got a story about a jackdaw. A jackdaw who should know the seasons. The jackdaw that has been through season after season after season, that should know that a fig tree, when a fig tree is opposed to drop its fruit, this certain fig tree sprouted, let's say, it sprouted figs out of season, entirely out of season. And this jackdaw decided to wait for the figs to ripen. But if it happened out of season, this means that the weather conditions will cause the newly sprouted figs not to ripen but to die because of the inclement weather, because the weather that it sprouted is entirely out of season, which means that this bird is waiting around for a hope. This bird is stuck on the hope that this false hope that this tree, who is confused about the seasons, that for some reason its clock is out of tune. For some reason, maybe the weather was different and it sprouted on a certain day because it was warm enough, and now it's sprouting, and these fruits, as the fox says, "You are indeed, sir, sadly deceiving yourself. You are indulging a hope strong enough to cheat you, but which will never reward you with enjoyment." This folktale right here is a testament to what we are experiencing here in America as a group. Many of us are hoping for a tree that sprouted out of season. We're sitting there hoping that this fruit will ripen. We're sitting here chasing illusions. Illusions that are strong enough to, I love how he put this, that a hope strong enough to cheat us, but which will never reward us with enjoyment. A lot of times when we do stuff and it's out of season, when we do stuff and we're out of our principles, when we do stuff and we're out of something, right? We're not in cycle. We set ourselves up to set up this false hope that is only strong enough to give us disappointment, but not strong enough to give us the true reward we think it's going to give us. Family, we're acting out of principle. We're acting out of season. We could either be the jackdaw in this story, or we could be the actual fig tree in this story. Both of us are caught up on some type of illusion. The fig said, "I'm going to sprout these. I might be able to get them off before the bad weather come back," even though it's out of season, and the bird hoping that the fig tree does it. But the fox, who has watched season after season, understand what's happening, because all of us know what happens. Like, for example, do you remember the winter times where it was so warm that all of the trees started blossoming? You remember that, Shaka? That
Yeah, I do.
They started blossoming, and it was on the news, and it was in the middle of the winter, and people looking at that shit and like, that shit is not. Ooh. As soon as winter hit, For that moment, all that shit was dead. Sister Navita say the famished jack thing is the jackdaw, baby. The famished jack thingy had a remedy, and he was sitting on it, doing nothing while he was famished. He is deceiving himself by not taking advantage of what he had before him. That's what got. That's what got out of. That's what I got out of it. Now, the issue is, I don't know if you have figs, but you might not be able to eat an unripe fig. But you're right. If he really hungry, he should have ate them. He should have ate those. You're right. I feel you on that one. Go ahead, Sister Navita. You hear what she said?
He should have ate what?
He should have ate the. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting around waiting for him to ripen, rather than eating was there. He didn't take advantage of this fruit. He was waiting for it to ripen. But I guess a fig, you can't really, I guess it's kind of tough to eat unless it's all the way ripe. I don't know.
No, I mean, in this particular, it wasn't just that it wasn't ripened. It was ripened out of season. So it means it would never ripen because it hadn't gone through
the process.
Right.
It did it out of cycle, right? So he might not have been able to take advantage of it. That's why he was waiting. Shouts out to Miss Steph. How you doing? All right. So go ahead, man. Go ahead, because I'm just like, yo, man, this one right here, a lot of us have, family, think about this. A lot of us have been sadly deceiving ourselves. We are indulging in a hope strong enough to cheat us, but which will never reward you with enjoyment. We're doing that with jobs. There's certain jobs that some of us accept. We're doing that. We're doing that with relationships. You know what I'm saying? We're doing that with organizations. I mean, if you don't do nothing but just take that last line. You are indeed, sir, sadly deceiving yourself. You are indulging a hope strong enough to cheat you, but which will never reward you with enjoyment. So he could have ate them. It wouldn't have been enjoyable. He wouldn't have enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? He only had hope in something that was only strong enough to cheat him. And many of us were falling into, these schemes where we're being cheated. We're falling into these ideas that cheat us, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not doing our research. We're not looking at the total cycle of the thing. We're not looking at it and being like, damn, that fruit on that tree is not going to get right.
Hey, when I look at it, man, I mean, and I'm just regarding a process that I have, hold on one second. Hey, Pharaoh, man, if you're going to wear those tap dance shoes, can you go upstairs? No, I'm on the phone right now. You understand. Okay, now go upstairs. Go.
You try to kill his shine, man. He was trying to put a Savion Glover on, man. I understand, I understand.
He's doing the thing. It's just sometimes it be wrecking my flow. Just
Bro,
like right now,
listen. I don't
even know what I was talking about before that.
Listen, I'm with you, man. You see, I got this. You just need to say to this real life here on Gye-Nyame Journey. Go ahead.
Hey, no, I'm serious. Can you help kickstart me back to what I was talking about?
I have no idea. I'm still thinking about the little dude running around tap dancing. It's hard enough for me to hold my thoughts. Now you want me to hold your thoughts.
Okay, so check it out. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Uh-oh.
Somebody else on the line. But we're talking about
Sister Navita's on the line.
Uh-oh.
Sister Navita's on the line.
Sister Navita's on the line. So,
now,
help kickstart. Go ahead.
This is how I look at it. The key word to me is that he was already famished. He wasn't just hungry, he was famished.
which when you are going through famine, you need to eat. But he was never going to enjoy the fruit because he was too busy waiting on it to ripen. But by the time it ripened, he would have died from being famished. He had an advantage in front of him, but because he wanted to wait, he was going to lose out.
But
that's how I took it.
Wow.
Even with crab apples, there's got to be a point where if it don't turn into fruit, it's not healthy to eat. It's not sustenance. It's poison.
But I don't think, we're talking about, a fig, it may not be delicious to eat, but I don't think an unripened fig is unhealthy. I don't even think, a crab apple, it might make you go to the bathroom, but if you famished, see, to me, that's what's sticking with you. You are famished, and you are sitting on some food, even though it ain't ripe, and you still want to sit around here in your condition and do nothing but wait.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
That's how I took it.
Damn. Go ahead, Sister Navita. I hear you. You saying he's sitting on his food, and because it said unripe figs have a bland, bitter taste, he's waiting for it to ripen. He's already famished. It ain't hungry. It's the difference between being hungry and being famished.
And being famished, right.
He is sitting on a tree with all this food, and he's trying to wait for it to ripen. And the fox looks at him and says, "You are indeed so sadly deceiving yourself. You are indulging a hope strong enough to cheat you, but which will never reward you with enjoyment."
Right. He'll never get that reward because he'll die waiting on it.
How many of us is caught up? How many of us is caught up in that shit? How many of us is caught up in this?
You know what? I'm caught up in it. I'm saying I had to open my eyes because I was just caught up in that, hot tip. And what I'm talking about is that my unripened fig are the individuals that I need to be able to demonstrate what can only be done collectively. So, in other words, in my story, I believed that the success of what I'm doing, the movement that I lead, in terms of establishing this thing where we can look at it and say, yeah, we winning, right? That cannot happen unless I had the ripened fruit, the seasoned individuals to be able to do what they're supposed to do all at the same time. And in my mind, this is the only way that I can succeed at doing so. And I looked at my whole idea today, and I was explaining it to an individual, like, yeah, you got these components right here. You got about 12 different working parts, right? And I'm so wrapped up on people being able to identify with first and then to believe in the process without the process even being evident yet, right? Not at that capacity. And what I'm reminded of right now is that when I look at the seeds that I have planted in seasons past, and I look at the fruits that they bear, and now I go back to those fruits and I see how in this lifetime and in today, where those are actually the relationships that I needed to come back into, because those fruits are ready. Those fruits are seasoned. You follow me? They're ripe. They're ready to go. Sometimes we try so hard to make our oceans a leaven up of those who are inexperienced.
They're not oceans.
This type of
they're rivers.
Yeah.
They're puddles. You end up with a puddle 13. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be a good movie. The person on YouTube, you can go on and leave a comment. We have a comment from Namaste Jones. He said, out of season, you won't get the right nutrients of what you're eating. You might get poisoned. Now, I looked it up. It says, today I found out that unripe figs also contain a similar proteolytic protein breaking down enzyme from the same group, but this one is called ficane or ficin. And I found this one out the hard way. So when I was very tempted to eat another fig last night, I noticed that there were only unripe ones left. They have a sticky white latex syrup at the stem and also in the peel. It didn't seem to faze me too much while I was eating it, but straight afterwards it felt like my lips were about to peel off. Buyers beware. Well, they weren't peeling off right then and there, just the protease enzyme was just breaking down the outer protein layer on my lips. I get a similar feeling. Damn. I get a similar feeling, mainly just tingling lips though, when eating pineapple. Usually more than a few pieces of pineapple, and funny enough, kiwi fruit.
I designate Kristen Levita as the royal taster from now on.
Eat that. You know what I'm saying? So,
we gonna
Brother Not Mistake calls it.
To try something out first.
Brother Not Mistake calls it fool's gold. So, hey, family, listen. I won't hold y'all any longer because we've been on here an hour and 21 minutes. I appreciate each and every last one of you. I appreciate your time. Please like and share so we could grow the conversation. We can grow the family. Don't be scared to call in because I got over 100 people on the same line. And, you know, we could argue. I can cut off lines and blah, blah, blah. Shaka has the ability to manage that as well. So, family, we're growing. You know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit for us. We have a camping trip coming up. I will be letting people know about it. Like I said, it's going to be a Gye-Nyame Journey thing, a Tawi Village thing. We're going to be pulling our family together, and we're going to be actually doing some tribe building. We're going to sit around the fire and build some of those relationships that we can't build because we have been put into these individualized boxes called houses and taught to stay away from each other. We're going to move into a space where we're going to have to mix and mingle. We're going to have to eat together. We're going to have to cook together. We're going to have to walk together. We're going to have to practice some things together. We're going to have to do some ceremonies together. We're going to have to see each other. We're going to have to smell each other, right? I mean, family, you know, it's a life-changing event. 2 days is cool, but this next trip, we're going to be out there almost 5 days, family. 5 days. We got the whole camp to ourselves, and it's going to be affordable, and it's going to be a life-changing event. So be looking for the post. I'm posting it up on Gye-Nyame Journey. I will also send it out over the messenger to everybody because I want to give everybody opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the price will be affordable. All you need to bring is your sleeping bag. The food's going to be provided. The tents are going to be provided. We're going to make sure that you got fire. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure that everything is there and you could bring your whole family. So those of you that might be thinking about vacation, because the whole piece is family, like I said, many of us been priced out of America. Many of us working like slaves, and we got to go and spend thousands of dollars to go on a trip that we really can't afford. So we pull out the credit cards and we go deeper into debt, which is another form of slavery, when in fact, when all we got to do is turn around, especially here in Ohio, and look at some of these beautiful campgrounds and be able to go out there and chill and get relaxed and do a little bit of work and do some networking and do some true tribe building. And our vacation is there. You know what I'm saying? It's affordable. It's a little bit of gas. And in some cases, it might not even be gas because we might be able to get buses if we get enough people. But yo, family, make sure you like, share. I need to remind you are now listening. Huh? Yeah, peace. You know I'm not winning the video. You just got to hang up, baby. Listen. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hot Tim. This has been Folk Tales for Grown Folks. And we have just talked about the story, The Jackdaw and the Fox, and it's a Heart of a Simba production. But we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Peace. Peace out. Peace out, YouTube. Peace out, Facebook. Peace out, Spreaker.